What's up, everybody? Joe Troyer here. Welcome officially to today's AMA. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat. That would be fantastic. Should be able to see my screen. Let's see. Let's get my screen set up there. My slides. You should now see Ask Me Anything AMA in or on the screen. If you can, let me know in the chat. That would be fantastic. As always, joining me in the chat as well is Ryan Claudio from support. All right. Welcome. All right, guys. So without further ado, we're going to get right into things like usual. Let me double check here, make sure we're recording. All right. Yep, we are good to go. All right. So the first question that we have here comes in from John Guild. And John asks, I have a full-time Filipino VA at $100 a week. She is not up to speed on some of the new marketing and SEO work that I need, and neither am I. She's willing and able to learn. Is it better to find extra help from specialists or to train her? So you guys should all know my answer to this. And John, man, I'm surprised you didn't know, but it's all right. We'll take you back through it. I'll talk to you about when I use specialists and when I don't. At the end of the day, 99% of the time, I would say, I train from the ground up. Okay, there are exceptions to that. All right, there are exceptions to that. Okay, when I need somebody like uber talented or with a very specific skill set, like let's say a developer to build some software, right? When we need somebody like uber creative, right? When I need somebody to build a user interface, for me, those are positions and those are examples of times where I go straight to a specialist. Okay? The rest of the time, guys, I train from the ground up. Okay? And this is how we are able to scale. This is how I've been able to scale all the different businesses I've been involved with. Okay? We train and we build processes around a system that we build, right? And we bring people in with no experience, okay, that have no preconceived notions on pay or on the topic on which they're learning and working, right? And we build them from the ground up. They come in with zero knowledge, right? And our goal is to train them into being an expert, right? And an expert on our team. And a lot of the times, right, we'll bring somebody in, they'll flourish, they'll do a great job, and over time, right, they'll start doing their own thing. And sometimes eventually, right, they even go off to do bigger and better things, right? Like we essentially train them out of a job. And that's fine too, right? But at the same point, we're getting a whole lot of service from that individual, right? We're getting a whole lot of labor, we're getting a whole lot of hours, and it's a win-win relationship, right, for me as the employer and them as the employee. Give me a 2 if that makes sense to everybody. Okay, where I see a lot of people, John, and everybody else on the call, where I see a lot of people get this wrong is they aren't involved in the creation of the systems or the processes, right? It's just they bring somebody on, right? It's the second or third person they interview. They're like, yeah, you seem perfect for the job, right? That person is not an expert, right? They're supposed to train them, but then they don't put in any effort. And it's like, all right, go read this article. Okay, great. So now go and do that. Great job. And then they come back a week, a month, 6 months, 3 months later, right? And they want to discipline that person or be firm with that person, right? When they were never involved in helping create the process. So I believe that you have to be involved in creating the systems and processes, right? And that either you're going to create them yourself or you're going to be very actively engaged with your team in creating those processes, okay? At least early on, You know, down the line, down the road, is there somebody on your team, right, that you could pay, right, to be in charge, right, to be your manager, to be your operations officer, right, to be your COO, 100%, to be your CTO, yes, right, but that's not going to happen overnight. Okay, for me, there's no other way around it unless you pay through the nose for a quote unquote expert. And I can tell you guys, when I have hired people that are experts, most of the times it has fallen by the wayside from me, right? It hasn't worked out well. Okay, so on my team, everybody that does marketing, everybody that does support, right? Everybody that runs SEO processes, etc., right? They come in from the ground up with very, very limited knowledge. All right, so next up, we are going to do a website audit for a house cleaning service. And so this website audit comes from Jamie. So Jamie says, hey, Joe, I run Clean Home Club house cleaning service in Charleston and do some digital marketing work as well. I would love some feedback on improving my site through SEO, through local SEO or user experience. The URL is Join Clean Home Club. He said he recorded me a short little video as well. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that that would play through for you guys. So I'm not going to like watch that and listen to that while you guys all just kind of sit there and wait for me. That wouldn't be good. So instead, what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull up the site and I'm going to walk you guys through his site and do an over-the-shoulder audit. All right, so we're going to do an over-the-shoulder audit together. So what's the URL here? Clean Home. Hang on one second, ladies and gents. All right, joincleanhomeclub.com. All right, so the first thing that I would do is just do a quick couple Google searches, right, to see if or what kind of presence, right, they have locally, what kind of presence Jamie has locally. So I'm just going to do Charleston, a search for Charleston house cleaning and see what I get to come up. So Clean Home Club, this is the name, this is the site. This is Jamie down in the bottom using Drift chatbot, which is great. GrooveJar just thought I was exiting, so we got a little exit pop here, so that's all good stuff so far. Charleston house cleaning service or services, Maid Brigade and Maid Pro. These are all like really big, and even Cleaning Authority. These are all multi-location businesses. So it's not surprising to me that they're all owning the 3-pack. Try to make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. So right here, owning the 3-pack, obviously, all these multi-location businesses. So if I keep scrolling down, we got Mary Maids, we got Thumbtack, we got Yelp. Again, the Cleaning Authority, which was inside the Map Pack, right? We got Maid Pro ranking organically. We got Maid Brigade, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Molly Maid, and actually we got the Jamie's site, it looks like, ranking here at number 10. So first and foremost, congratulations on jumping into the top 10. This market is actually pretty competitive. I've played around in the house cleaning services market, and it's actually somewhat competitive. As you can see here, a lot of the SERP results come from big established companies, right? You're dealing with, you know, a franchise like Molly Maid, or dealing with Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, and some bigger sites. So it can take a little bit to get a foothold in this market and to really even just get on the first page. So it looks like you've secured your spot there, and now you're in a prime position to really start climbing the ladder, and also start feeling the effects and starting to get a return from the investment that you've put into ranking organically thus far. Right, being number 10, you're not going to be getting much traffic here. So let's take a look at the site here. So again, we got this pop-up here. Congratulations, you won $25 off. Offer only valid for, I love the countdown, and this should definitely get somebody to take action. I really like the offer too. A lot of pop-ups and a lot of exit pops. You look at the offer and it's just like it's very bland, it's very boring, and it's like, really, is that even freaking incentive? Like, why should I do that, right? So like you went through the initiative and you went through all the effort of putting an exit pop there, but gave me a shitty offer, right? Like you're at the 10-yard line and you couldn't like take it, to the end zone. So I really, Jamie, who's actually on the line, I love the offer. $25 is a good offer. I would expect, based upon this market and what I know of it, with pricing, you're probably average ticket, I would assume, is probably about $150 or so, 150, $200 maybe. And so $25 off is a good, is a very, very good offer. So great job on that. I'm curious if I fill this out, and Jamie, this isn't a real email address, so forgive me, but I'm curious what happens, right? So we got the coupon here. It says click to use the coupon, and it opened in a new tab here. So I'm just thinking about the user experience here. So this opened in a new tab, and it took me right to the checkout, it looks like. Gave me the discount, which is great. And yeah, $125. Yeah, what a guess, right? Starting order is 125. So that's super funny, right? I nailed that right on the head. So I like this. I wonder how it is going to be for other users' experiences, though. So that would be the only thing, Jamie, that I'd be concerned about, is just opening in a new tab, right, versus just continuing right on. This isn't like a full browser tab either, obviously. Like there's no back or anything else. So that would be a concern of mine, but great job so far. All right, so right on the home page then, the header looks nice and clean, very nice and clean. We got services, reviews, blogs, gift card, login, and book in 60 seconds. The goal, I'm assuming, with this site is to have people book without actually calling. Jamie, you're in the chat. Could you just confirm that for me? So again, the question is your goal to have prospects and users in the local Charleston area, right, fill out the form online without even having to call? Or do you want phone calls? And while you're at it, let me know kind of what the current mix-up is. So first off, what do you want, phone calls or online bookings? And then what's the current kind of rate in which you're getting both? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40 and you're getting more bookings via the web? Let me know what it is. So you said they can book online or call. So what's your preference, Jamie? And then let me know where things are currently at. So this is good. I think though you got some readability issues. If I were you, I would probably push this up, right, and make my subhead maybe a little bit bigger. But definitely push this up. You got some wasted space here, and you also have just some readability issues here with this particular background. Maybe you want to gray it out some more. Or put some type of gray overlay on top of it. It's just a little hard to read. And can you read it? Yes, but it is definitely not the easiest. So I would focus on that. I like online more. Phone calls convert better. Okay, so you kind of got a double whammy there, so to speak, right? So you gotta pick which one you're gonna push the most. If it's gonna be phone, if I were you, I would change this this color up here, right? White just kind of blends in with everything else, right? You got a lot of white text. So if you want to do something to push the phone, right, then I would change up this color, right, make it stand out a whole lot more. So as I change the width, this is actually, Pretty responsive. So this would be like your smallest browser essentially. The experience is still pretty good. So that's good. On mobile, one thing that I would do if I were you, Jamie, is I would get this phone number bigger on mobile. So we could actually emulate mobile right here, right now. But I'm not going to just for the sake of time. But you definitely want to, on mobile, have a big call now, like tap to call type of area, and make it big, man. On mobile, most people aren't going to go through and actually do a full mobile checkout, right? So on mobile, I would definitely be pushing for the phone call, right? When you're looking for a local service, 99% of people are going to pick up the phone and call, especially on mobile, okay? So you still got to figure out for yourself, though, you know, desktop searches, desktop visitors, you know, what you want, either you know, bookings via the web or phone calls, but you've got to have a preference. All right. So I like this. Got to get in some pictures though. Michael P and Sharon S. Let's get in some pictures of them, right? Just to help humanize it. I like this background image of a person. That's great. That helps. But you're still missing some good photos of people. So these icons are super important. I think that the number one thing for a homeowner that is looking for a service like yours is kind of the safety and the security, right? Are they going to send somebody that's going to take care of my house, right? And can you make this transaction and this service as seamless as possible? So you say here, safety first, we rigorously vet all of our cleaners who undergo identity checks as well as in-person interviews. If I were you, I would really push that to the 10th degree, right? And talk about what you do, right? So what do you do in an identity check, right? Pump that up. Like we rigorously vet all of our cleaners who undergo a 34-point identity check. After they go through the identity check, we then do a 13-point in-person interview, right? And then talk about what happens if they mess up on a job, right? Make the customer feel really, really good in that regard. And that's where most of these startup home services companies really fail too. So if you haven't thought about that, or this is a newer company, definitely really spend some time on that side of the process. You should have some bonding, and you should have insurance as well, and those should all be advertised here as well. So I think that there's definitely only the best quality and save you time, easy to get help. Like I don't know, like some of these seamless communications, cash-free payment. I don't know. It seems like these are kind of blah USPs, Jimmy, right? That could be pumped up to deliver a whole lot more value. So if you think about, Jamie, think about Home Advisor. Why do people use Home Advisor, right? It's quick, it's easy, their background checks and the reviews, right? Like those are the big things that make a homeowner feel comfortable, right? So I would look, if I were you, at Home Advisor's messaging and how they convey that. And I think you could probably pick up a couple tips or two that could, like, literally, no joke, probably double your conversions. All right, so one thing that is strange for me is you got to book an appointment here as the call to action, and we're going to booking-page as the URL. Then you got a zip code and book a cleaning. So I'm curious, like, well, it's probably going to tell me that. Here, I'll put in your zip code. Book a cleaning now. Okay, so booking-page, and we're just passing the query string then, so that makes sense. I don't know. I would test, Jamie, whether or not that zip code is helping or not. And if it is, just use it on both. I don't like the variants personally and the call to action buttons, right? Either use this both times, right? Or use this both times. Just a personal preference for me. Learn more. Your trust and security are our priority. I don't know that this button to learn more really makes sense to go to like this FAQ or help page. Right, like we're talking about all the USPs of your company, and then it's like learn more, and then it's like just a bunch of like kind of more knowledge-based FAQ type of questions versus like how great your company is. So I have a little bit of a trip up there, or a little bit of a disconnect personally there. Nextdoor, Yelp, Thumbtack, Google reviews, Facebook, this is all good social proof. Address here, get in your full NAP here, Jamie. So name of the business, Clean Home Club, right? Or exactly as it is in Google Maps. So Clean Home Club. Dude, 1, 2, 3, you're ranking number 4. So you're doing good. You're doing good in terms of maps, all right? You want to get your whole NAP in here. I see that you have, it looks like, yeah, so get your entire address in here. No, it doesn't look like you. Dorchester Road, number 130. Oh, no, right here, sorry. My bad. So, Clean Home Club. So, here we go, 460 King Street, Suite 200. Yeah, so exactly like it's listed here, Clean Home Club is the name. You're going to want to put the name of the business. You're going to want to put the address. You're going to put the website or the phone number, and then put the website. Okay, just in that very specific order, so Google doesn't trip up on that. Okay, I know it's over here too. I might, pull over a couple over here. All right, so home cleaning services, you got move in, move out. Got a little something funky kind of happening with the UI here. I don't know if you guys can see that with that button. Looks really strange. So that needs to be fixed. So I can tell you that, Jamie, from me being in this industry, doing marketing in this industry, being involved in this industry, that the move in, move out cleanings are some of the most profitable, obviously, from a non-recurring standpoint. So if I can't get a recurring, right, like if you can't get a recurring clean, this is where, right, you'll make your next best money. So these need to be like full-fledged landing pages, and I would rather them look like a variation of the homepage, right, than this, right? Like this isn't really like a conversion page. This looks like an SEO page, which is good, right? But when somebody gets here, they're probably not going to convert very well. So move out, cleaning, Charlotte, North Carolina. So move in, move out was always a good keyword phrase for us in this space. Did I miss it? Okay, next up is you definitely want to add in review snippets like this. So you can do this with plugins. This is just schema and markup that you can put, and you're not gonna ever get this to show for your homepage. Just don't have that expectation. It's never gonna show up, but you can definitely get it to show up for a subpage, right? Like a services page, like your move in, move out. If you can do that, and you can get the snippet to show, and you can rank in the top 3, you might as well be number one organically. Like that's what you're going to get in terms of clicks, right? So this can help tremendously in terms of click through. I've helped a couple of clients and personal one-on-one clients, as well as some of the people in my mastermind, literally, have a 30-40% increase in traffic by getting review snippets to show up, right? And then also optimizing their title tag and their meta description tag to really be good, right? As a consumer, when I see this date, for example, like that's bullshit, right? Do I want to go to this page that hasn't been updated since 2014? Like the web has freaking changed a lot since 2014. Like, I don't know, what kind of website am I into that hasn't been updated since then? So something to look at there. Let's go back over to the site, and I'll try to wrap this thing up a little bit. So service areas, it looks like you got a bunch of location pages essentially here built out. Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, Somerville, Sullivan's Island, and whoop, that's the route, that's the home page. Oh, okay, great. So all of these service areas, Jamie, need to be pages, right? And if you live here, man, go take some pictures of the local area, right? So I was in Charleston, Jamie, my cousin lives there actually, and I was there for a wedding, and we stayed on John's Island for like a week. Freaking, I'm gonna swear, fucking beautiful, amazing place. Take some imagery, right, yourself, or pay somebody to go do it, and use that imagery on the site and geotag it, right, on these location pages. So when you build these location pages, they can be omni-relevant, right, and uber relevant to each of these areas, and all the images are then geotagged as well for that area, right? So your North Charleston page is talking about things to do in North Charleston, right? It's talking about the neighborhoods that you work in North Charleston. It's showing, a milestone or two in North Charleston. And, long term, as you start to build up more and more clientele, right, some houses, right, or some before and after pictures from North Charleston. If you can do that, these location pages, right, will be not considered so much doorway pages by Google, right, because of all the uber relevant local information that you were able to put into it. Jamie says, I live there. Yeah, it's beautiful. So these pages, Jamie, are going to be a huge source of conversions for you. Okay, if you're already ranking for Charleston, right, Charleston house cleaning and Charleston cleaning type of keywords, you're going to be able to rank for these a whole lot easier. So definitely one of the things that I would do right away in terms of a priority is build out these pages. And before you build out the pages, just sit down and really map out what they're all going to look like, right? So then you're not kind of building them all from a whim, but you should be building them all with a template, right? These pages are going to do really well for you. They're not going to drive a ton of traffic, but they're going to drive a lot of conversions. All right, so reviews. All right. It's okay. This call to action doesn't look real great. I may take that call to action from the homepage where they put in their zip, right, and use that here. That would look a little better. And then this top area, I definitely think this should be a little longer, definitely a little squished. All right. Oh, on the service area pages, Jamie, on the service area pages, make sure that you hit your services, right? So on your John's Island page, right, you want to make sure that you have an area on that page that talks about the services, right? So that you got all the keywords in there, and so you can rank for, right, move in, move out cleaning, or move in cleaning John's Island, right? Those longer keyword phrases are going to be easy to rank for, and again, they're going to convert like crazy. All right. The other thing that I would do is just cut down on this top nav, right? So you got services, reviews, services, and then the drop down, right? When you click on the services too, right, it doesn't go anywhere, obviously, and then these do. So I wouldn't give them, you want to give people as little options as possible, right? So just services, right? Reviews is okay. Gift card I wouldn't put up here. John or Jamie, probably, maybe at like Christmas time or holiday time, maybe you might have a couple of gift card orders. But if you got a brand new customer coming here, I don't think they're probably going to come and buy a gift card. Also, login I would throw in the footer. And if you want to leave book in 60 seconds, that's fine. But we could literally cut this down to service reviews, blog, and book in 60 seconds. And that's going to help as well with your conversions. So I hope that helps, man. That was a lot of feedback. Come back on though, make the updates, come back on, and maybe we can actually do some type of Google Analytics audit or a little further PPC audit or something like that for you as well. Good stuff. You guys lose my audio for a second there. Derek says, great. Jamie says, thanks. All right. You have an app that emulates different browsers and different device types. Yeah, so forget the one that we use, Drop Shots or Browser Shots. I think it's browsershots.org. There's one that, yeah, I've used for a very long time. So you got lots of different operating systems, lots of different browsers then as well. But then you definitely want to check mobile. So mobile is a gold mine, and definitely one of the places that you can influence conversion the most with a local service business specifically. The big thing is that you just got to make sure that you got a huge click to call us button and that you portray trust, right? If you can do those two things on a local service-based website or any type of local website like that, you are absolutely going to destroy it in terms of conversions. That's really all that you need. All right, Carolyn says, very good stuff. All right, fantastic. All right, so next up, we are going to do an artificial grass website audit. All right, so this one comes from John Rogers. He says that the site is slower than molasses. He says he's tried several plugins to get it faster. They've switched hostings and it's still slow. He said, do you have any recommendations to make it faster? He said it currently ranks for several terms, gets about 8,000 uniques a month, has tons of content, so much so some pages rank for the same terms. How would you go about ranking it for more terms? All right, so on the last audit, right, with the house cleaning site for Jamie, we focused kind of on conversions, building out some more pages. On this audit, we're going to focus more on kind of a technical audit, if you will. All right, so he already said he changed servers. The site's loading slow. He's got a bunch of good traffic. So those are the main things that I'm going to really push on in this. So let me get rid of my other tabs here. And I'm just going to pull up SEMrush, and I'm just going to use the free version even. And I'm just going to plug in their domain so I can figure out what keywords they're ranking for. I'm going to do a page speed test. And again, guys, I thought this would be cool today to kind of do this over the shoulder and me not so much, right? Have, three slides for every question, answering it in detail, and instead kind of do a little more off the cuff and just kind of do over the shoulder with you guys. So we're going to run through this. So artificialgrassliquidators.com. Organic search traffic, yep, about 8,500 uniques a month is what SEMrush is saying. So if we look at the trend too, we got a nice trend. Yeah, there's going to be ups and downs. There always is, right? I'm sure some of that seasonality probably as well. But we just want to see, over a year, 2 years, a nice steady kind of climb. Looks like they're starting to plateau a little bit. So that's interesting, but we don't see any crazy penalties or any crazy Google slaps or anything like that. This could have been like maybe an indexing issue for a month or so.
or just seasonality. I'm not sure, but it came back pretty quick, right? So July and basically August, November was pretty much back, or October, November. So let's see. Artificial grass, artificial lawn, artificial grass, synthetic grass. All right, so ranking for some big keywords here, right? Like artificial grass ranking number 10. I mean, that's got to be a big money keyword, right? This guy M3, big shout out. He just came and gave me a quote on doing artificial grass at my house. He's actually a client, customer here at Digital Triggers. Shout out to you. You know who you are. So he's ranking locally in the map pack, but then here we go, synthetic grass warehouse. So let's see. So Costco is number 10, number 9, number 8, Lowe's, number 7, Amazon, number 6, WP TV, number 5. Wow. So ranking number 5 organically for synthetic grass. So that is or artificial grass. That's crazy. So let's see. If you have any sub pages or types of grass as well, you definitely, John, want to get in, right, the review snippets and the schema for the review snippets to show up. These are all kind of local players, except for this one. I mean, it seems like you should be able to get in the top 3 without too much trouble. This is local, so this is going to change. This is Home Depot. I can't imagine that they have, I mean, they got power to the domain, right? But not to this particular page or section on the site. This is another local result. So I don't know, man. I think you could probably get in the top 3 without a whole lot much more work. But yeah, you're right. This thing's slow as shit. Slow as shit. So this is definitely a problem. So it's in the 90th percentile and the 95th percentile. So that's not good. So it looks like you got a lot of really big images. And specifically, they're in huge freaking formats, is what this means right here. So your images are in some crazy formats. So I would do a little audit with that. You could use, you don't just want like a scrunching plugin. You could use Screaming Frog. We'll do an audit and it'll give you the image size and the image type. So I would definitely do that first and kind of find out high level what the big ones are. But here's one right here, for example, right? Like these are some freaking huge images. Next up, so that's the bulk of your opportunity and estimated savings. Then we got the encoding of the images. So yeah, you're just looking for optimized images at that point. So there's plugins that will scrunch the images for you and also offload them potentially if you want. So I would definitely suggest offloading those images because they're so big, right? And throwing those on something separate, potentially like S3 or some type of CDN. Let's see, Derek says formatfactory.com to rescale them down would work. Thanks, Derek, for that tip. I haven't actually heard of that one, but may be a good check for you. Let's see. Got some JavaScript issues, some unused CSS issues. Like this stuff is all important, but you're kind of starting to get diminishing returns, especially down at this point. But if you can knock out just the image things that we talked about, I mean, that's going to really be the 80-20, so to speak, in getting the page speed under control. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely get some type of CSS JavaScript person that's familiar with, I'm assuming, the sites in WordPress. Pay them for an hour or two. They should be able to get this thing tuned up in no time. Let's take a look at the site itself. So I'm on a big browser too right now, guys. I don't know how that affects you, but I'm on a 27-inch screen, so not too big, but pretty big still. So yeah, like these images are going to be very, very large. All right, so first things first, before I forget, we'll go top down, but before I forget, you're using Provely, which is cool, nice social proof. I would make the call to action something different than people currently viewing this page, right? And put in a better image than just this. So say that somebody just bought direct, right? Say that somebody just, filled out the contact form for an installation, right? Or a free analysis or whatever, right? But just currently viewing this page, I don't know, seems a little strange to me. All right, so this top nav then this is atrocious. There's just way too many options. And I get it, like this site is big. And what I mean by that, it seems like this business is big, right? They allow people to buy direct, right? So that's consumers buying direct. They themselves do installation and renovation, right? And then they also have contractors that buy their stuff. So at least that's what I see from initial standpoint. Like that's a lot of options though. So because of that, then at the top we got why us, products, contractors, buy direct, retailers. So this is like a repeat of below, right? Commercial and installation. So you just got to be careful. And then at the top, right, we got payment, gallery, blog, FAQs, locations, contact us, and then a cart. So we just got to cut down on how many options. If we can cut down and really think about the user experience instead, right? So they come here and then it's like, all right, so step one, when somebody comes here to the home page, essentially, what we want to do is we want to figure out what type of user they are, right? If we can figure out that and we can get them to click essentially and belong to one of these three buckets, we can send them to a landing page that answers every single one of their questions and is going to convert way better than this homepage does. Right? So what I'd rather see here personally on the homepage is probably get rid of this slider, right? Show some proof, right? Show some reviews, so show some authority things, right? And then get somebody just to make a decision on what type of buyer are they? Are they buying direct, trying to buy online, right? They're trying to get you to come out and quote out a job, right, locally to one of the locations, right? Or are they a contractor? Right, as featured on would be great, right? This video, I don't know, depending on what's in it, would be great. But I would be dropping things on here personally. So we hit what to do with the load time. You should definitely be using some type of CDN and caching. Those are two obvious ones as well. But I think the big issue obviously is just these huge images. So they need to be reformatted and they need to be compressed. Don't get me wrong, they look beautiful, but gotta stop that load time. And we've worked with some people with some crazy websites, like even more visual than this, if that's possible, in terms of these huge ass images. And we've had page speed way faster than what you're at. So it is possible. All right, so let's take a look here at some of the competitors. Trying to figure out if these guys are kind of top dog or they got a lot of room for improvement, right? So common keywords here with their competitors, they have about 4,000 keywords, right? Artificial grass, artificial lawn, they rank #1 for. So let's take a look at that and see what's ranking #1. So if this is an interior page, definitely review snippets. Yep, so review snippets could definitely go on this page. And again, you got to do something with this, right? This is crushing your click-through rate. So you rank number 1 here, but you're just definitely not getting a ton of traffic because it's showing this expired date, right? People are thinking in their mind, is this really relevant? This meta description is okay, right? But really sell the click, right? Like when you guys when you think about SEO and you think about meta titles and meta descriptions, you really want to take this time to really sell the click, right? And to think about this as if you were paying per click in Google, right? To think as if you were actually running ads. And if you were paying for every click, you would be split testing the shit out of your title tags, right? And your meta descriptions, or what's equivalent to that inside of Google Ads, right? And it's not a bad idea if you haven't ran Google Ads to run Google Ads just to figure out what should you say in your title tag and meta description so that you can capture as much of the traffic as possible, right? Run a test for a week, right? Split test on one big keyword or 2 big keywords, right? Get a bunch of traffic in and just split test 3 different ads and which of the ads get you the best click-through. So this is good. Let's click into this page. Let's take a look at this page. So conversions, I'm guessing from this page are horrid. Can't be good. So you got a 2-column, 1 column over here, and then 2-column layout, but you're only using 1 column. So on the right-hand side here, you should be selling me something, right? Go do this next. This is your next step, right? If I were you on this blog template, again, get the visitor, the search visitor, to self-identify, again, from the homepage, which type of buyer are they, right? Then you can get them into your sales funnel. Do you guys get that kind of a chooser model, so to speak? It's like, what kind of buyer are you? You want us to do it, right? You want to buy it online and you do it yourself, right? You want to buy wholesale? So you got a lot of call to actions to make. If you don't start segmenting and kind of pulling out a chooser funnel like that, I think scaling this thing past where it's at right now in terms of search presence and results from the web is going to be difficult. All right, so let's see. Artificial grass, synthetic grass. So right now it seems like the biggest opportunities are definitely going to be these landing pages and getting this done. But I would also focus on just the readability of these posts. I mean, this has got to be getting a ton of traffic, right? SEMrush is quoting artificial lawn, right? Search volume of 1,300 and you're number 1, right? So you're definitely getting some good traffic to this. Like this isn't very easy on the eyes, right? Not very easy on the eyes at all. And then I don't know, man, like these seem like really spammy SEO articles linking out, like PBN type of mentality, link out to a bunch of authority sites like Popular Mechanics, Almanac, RHS.org, Lifehacker, Garden Ezine. Like this looks spammy as shit. I mean, by all means, link out when it makes sense, but when it provides value. Art of Manliness. Sorry. So the Art of Manliness is a podcast, right? So what does how to use a hammer, right, and this Art of Manliness have to do with, I don't know. I mean, I see it, but I don't know. Nerd fitness. So this content, man, I would clean up because this is a money page for you. And at the end of the day, to me, it seems like you're just squandering the traffic, to be frank, right? The user lands here, load time, obviously, John, not trying to beat a dead horse, is bad, right? They have all these options up here, then all these inner links, like think of this as a funnel, like leak, 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 like to all these questionable places. And then there's no self-identifying information here, right? Like you're not getting them to choose what kind of buyer they are. So if we continue along that theme, we say buy direct, where do we go? Let's see. Set up an appointment today. Yeah, okay. So learn more. Huh. Okay. I don't know. I think this should probably pop up and you should have the user go nowhere, right? Micro step, learn more, click, like lead boxes, lead page style, right? Have a little pop up, they fill in the form. I think that you're losing space right here by this not being inside the image, right? It's just taking up a lot of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 testimonials right here. I don't know. Seems a little excessive. Sorry. All products, right? Get in touch. Then, like, why are we having one call to action here, and then one call to action that goes to a different form here? So I would unify those pages and make this a little tighter, so to speak. Okay, so we did the DIY route. Let's now go for installation and renovation. So this should be like the retail route, I would assume. So we do it all. And again, I feel like you're kind of wasting, whoa. This time the rest of your header didn't even load. See that? You guys see that? Give me a 1 if you saw that. This whole black area and green area, besides for the logo, went away. You guys see that? Give me a 2 if you see that. How spammy is it? Safe or eligible for a Google slap? If I was Google, I'd slap it. It's excessive. So installation and renovation, I don't know. I think it's really weird that all your header went away. You definitely want a big phone number, and especially on like a local page like this, you definitely want the phone number big and huge. So if anything, I wouldn't be dropping the nav, but I'd be making the phone number really big. I would get rid of this. This is just wasted space, right? We need to push the whole, page up. This is fine. This is fine. I'd work on spacing these out and making it bigger to fill this area, right? Like you got essentially all of this, but are only filling up half of it. I think that this looks okay. I'm not really a fan of having like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 part form in the middle of a page. I'd rather see a button and a pop-up, and you show like the first 2 options, right? Or first 3 option, name, email, phone number, right? And then when they hit next or submit, right, then you ask them for the other 2 fields. You will have better conversions with that. And it doesn't really say like what this is doing. Like I can only assume that it's for a quote, right? But there's no real offer. Oh, here it is. Set up a free design consultation. So I don't know. That should be the header or the call to action or the submit button, right? Or the pop-up button for the call to action. So less is more is kind of the conversion standpoint that I would push upon you. Then in terms of internal linking, I would make sure that throughout the site and throughout the content, where it makes sense and without overdoing it, meaning every single instance of it, right? Like make sure that you're interlinking to these top pages. I think that your big opportunity right now is ranking better than number 8 or number 10 for artificial grass, right? You got a very authoritative site, right? And also for, artificial I don't know why this shows up twice, right? Both of them say artificial grass, right? Synthetic grass, number 11, right? But there's 38,000 searches a month that you're on and off the first page for, essentially, right? If you really zoned in on just that and gotten the top 3, your traffic would freaking explode. So how do you do that? I would focus on internal linking. I would also focus at the same time on user experience so that you're getting the most out of the users that you are getting. Again, John, I feel like you're kind of squandering the opportunity right now with all the traffic that you are getting. And then number 3 is, dude, start doing outreach and getting links, right? Start getting guest posts, start doing paid links, right? Sponsored links all around these big, heavy keyword phrases: artificial grass, artificial lawn, artificial grass, synthetic grass, and I'm sure that there's even more. But I mean, dude, if you concentrate on that for 2 to 3 months, right? Like your traffic could very well triple. Project starting at $6.99. Yeah, $6.99 a square foot, Carolyn. $6.99 a square foot. All right, John, I hope that was helpful for you, brother. I covered conversion. I said I wasn't going to, but I really covered conversion because I think it's a huge opportunity for you. So make those adjustments, man. And then again, let's see if we can't go a little deeper, man. I'd love to do a full audit for you and really get into some more, right? Get into PPC, get into Google Analytics, get into your e-commerce shopping rates, right? Your conversion rates. This thing is on the brink of like exploding in a really, really great way. So guys, that is it for today's AMA. I appreciate you guys joining me and spending the last 58 minutes with me. It's been an awesome AMA session, and I want to keep doing AMAs just like this, meaning I want to go deeper and not answer so many questions. I want to go deeper. I want to do some over-the-shoulder funnel audits. I want to do some over-the-shoulder website audits. I want to do some SEO audits, some conversion audits, right? I want to jump in and give you some feedback on what you're doing with Google ads and YouTube ads, right? Okay, so now is your opportunity. If you got a ton of value out of this, I want you to jump over to the AMA question form, and I want you to put in what you want me to review. You want me to do a website audit, right? You want me to do a conversion audit, right? Give me the details and let's do it next week, right? We're here each and every week, Wednesdays, right? At what time? 3 p.m. Eastern. So have a freaking fantastic week. Get after it, kick some ass, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.